So I'm officially recording, just so you guys know, because this is going to be added onto the region account website, or not region account website. Yeah, region website. And so I'm going to share my screen with all my million tabs. Okay. Everyone can see?
You're good.
All right. Perfect. Okay. So to start off, Canva how-to. You guys know who I am, basically. So I'm studying marketing and management with a minor in international business. The reason why specifically I'm doing this is just because I've learned a ton through my marketing internships with Rocket Dining, and Canva has been my go-to thing for it. I'm not a huge Photoshop person. I've definitely done a little bit of Photoshop, but it's so much easier to use Canva. Takes a lot of less I would say effort and work put into it. You can just do it so quickly, which you'll see here soon. So I'm going to ask for everybody to go to www.canva.com, and you're going to sign in. You can actually sign in using Facebook, Google, or you can create an account. And this is what the home page is going to look like for you. Just so you can kind of mess around when I'm doing the presentation. So you can see the different templates as well as the uploads, photos, elements, and all that. And since I'm doing a presentation, but I'm going to be messing around with all of the features on here, I actually can present if I wanted to present my presentation. I just literally click present. And you can do standard and you can do auto play, but that's if you're trying to do let's say a presentation, an actual recording, you want to go quickly, you want to make sure you're hitting the speed every single time. Maybe if you're doing national competing, things like that, you can do auto play, or you can do presenter view, which is really nice, kind of how Google does their presentation notes that you can do and pull up kind of side by side. But I'm going to just do standard just to show you guys, and then it looks like this when I present it, and I can click back and forth through that, and then I can exit right here. Okay, is everybody on Canva and signed in? You can just put a thumbs up if you want. If anybody is not, just say no. All right, no one is saying no. So what is Canva? Canva is a wonderful and free, basically, to use. I love it so much. The free version was great, but I did purchase the pro version. It just helps excel your experience because it gives you a lot of options that you do not have in the free version. You can use background remover, and for elements and photos that you want to use, the higher quality ones or the nicer elements, they are watermarked. So you aren't you're able to use them, but if you're making graphics and stuff like that, the watermark will show up in those graphics, flyers, presentations, all that. So that's why I purchased the pro version of it. You can create infographics, presentations, flyers, story icons, etc. It's very user-friendly. Honestly, it's a great just if you're doing a small position like marketing, or you need to hurry up and create something maybe for a class, it's perfect to use for that. Because you can use templates or you can start from scratch all on your own. There are free photos and elements, like I said. You do have a larger variety with the pro. Sorry if that did sound like I tried to sell you though, because that's kind of my job, is to sell you on things, but hey, take it as you will. There is more to Canva. So with this presentation, I will tell you, like I said before I started recording, the reason why I made this presentation kind of not look good, but kind of look good at the same time, was because I wanted to show you how to improve it. So for example, with this, if you wanted to, you can actually click on it, and I'm going to go to position, or not position. Perfect. And then see this little right here, these little dots right here, this is transparency. So I literally just took a box and I put a color behind it. And right now it's pretty low. So if I wanted to enhance it and just make it darker, I can. But too dark can kind of just be very overwhelming, as well as like the green and like the, I want to say that's like a blue color, just don't really work well together. So if I really wanted to, I could change the color completely and just do, I can do something like change the background, which would just clicking the background and then go straight to this. And then I could make this, let's say, white. And then I would change this. And I just went through it really quickly, but I'll go into that a little bit more here soon. More with Canva, like I said, same thing goes here. I don't really like this because the colors, it's really hard to see. But just so you guys know, you can save your work just continuously. Like you don't even have to save it. It just automatically does it for you. But if you're kind of scared, like I know I'm one of those people, I like to like save as I go. So I'll, even though it says all changes saved, I'll click save just in case. I will say if like you lose connection for a hot second, it will tell you right here, like not all changes have been saved, or like lost connection or something like this right here where it says all changes saved. So you want to make sure like you reconnect and hurry up and save so that you don't lose your new data that you just created basically. You can save designs and to have others edit as well. So I can show you that at the end when maybe we finalize one of our designs. I can have you guys show me how to, not show me, I would show you how to send it over so that I could see it and edit it and pull it up on the screen if you guys want, as well as how to download at the very end. Editing text is extremely easy and it's almost as if it does it for you. So the reason why it looks so bad is because it's supposed to be that way. So like this right here, it obviously underlines it for you. So I can just click it like that and it automatically edits it. You can also customize using the toolbar, and this is going to be the toolbar right here. I'm going to tell you this entire time. So this is the toolbar up on the top, and then this is going to be, I would say like, I say like this is like your second toolbar too as well. So getting into how to use Canva. So I'm going to go back to the home screen and I'm going to show you how your home screen looks like. So your home screen should look something similar to this. So you can click up here on the top for templates, and there are a ton of template designs. Oops, my computer's not being slow. So templates, they have social media ones. So you can, it's so nice because for social media, it's so hard to get like the perfect size for certain things. This automatically does it for you if you want. So if you want an Instagram post, that exact same size is perfect. But I will say that for some things, like I know Twitter and like Facebook and Instagram, like those are two different things. So Instagram and Facebook have like the same like size for the post technically. But Twitter is completely different. So those sizes would be altered a little bit. Let's say for Instagram, you make a post. It's not going to look the same if you try to put it on your story. It's going to look exactly like a piece of square and not like the full length of your phone, basically. I can show you at the end on how to resize as well. You can also make things like invitations, cards. You can actually make a resume if you wanted to. They have templates on here. I will say be cautious just depending on like what your major is and things, because some of these templates, it's a little too much. And for most people, they want something that's just like a very basic resume. But if you want to be all creative and things like that, you want to make something fun, then they do actually have templates that are really easy to use that you can just fill in your information that you need. They have presentations, which is the one that I've used. I actually used a template and I'll show you which template. You can make posters, flyers, infographic brochures. You can also do educational information such as classroom decor, and you can actually print from Canva. If you wanted to get something that you made printed, you could do that as well. Some features. They do have photos that are free as well as ones that are not free. You can see that as it will leave a watermark on it. It'll also say in like the little corner I don't see it anymore because I have a pro, but it will have like a little like crown. So a crown means pro, therefore you won't be able to use it. You'll be able to use it, it just will show the watermark. And how I created my presentation, I literally just went to templates and I went presentation. And it was like an option that I found that was like one of the first ones that I saw. Yeah. So going back to the presentation itself, how to begin. So I'm going to just show you up here on the very top. So there's file up here. This right here is going to show you the size of it. So right now it's just the size of like your computer, basically like your computer screen. You can show rulers if you wanted to, as well as showing margins. You can show how to like print bleed. Let's say like you're printing, I know like at UT, it leaves like basically a square around whatever you make. So if you make a flyer, there's going to be like a white border around it because like that's like the bleed area. You can save the folders. You can look at your version history. This one right here, see like how it's like a little slight gray little crown. Yep, that is actually because that's only a Canva Pro. So look out for those in gold while you're doing like the elements and photos and stuff like that. And you can actually make a copy, which is really nice. And then this second part right here is going to be resize. And like I said, you can pick from a variety. You can make a Facebook cover if you want, an Instagram story. And let's say I wanted to take, actually I did this. I'll show you an example of what I did. So for actually this workshop, I did this exact same thing to create my story version. And all I did was do resize. And then I pressed Instagram story. You can completely resize it if you want, but if I clicked resize, it would get rid of the fact that I just put in the work into this Instagram post. And I wanted two separate things. So I wanted an Instagram post and also I wanted an Instagram story. So I did copy and resize. So it'll make a second one other than just separately from that. And like, it will look like this because you literally just took it from a post, but that's where you start to edit it and make it look kind of like, I wanted it to look kind of like how the post did. So I could just move it around like this and make it look more like a story version and like up the size and all that. Okay, let me click out of this and back to the presentation.
What are you doing?
Just some feedback. I don't know if you can see the chat, but this is a game changer. I didn't know that you could do, like that it automatically does it for you. That's hype.
Oh yeah, it's really neat. Yeah. Wait, are you talking about like when you resize?
Yeah, because I always like, I just like never tried to do it that way, but that's.
It is a pro version. I will say it is a pro version, I believe. Okay. Yep, it is because it has like a little thing up here. It is a pro version. But you know, I know you and I trust you, but if you ever need my Canva Pro, I got you. Highly recommend honestly just buying it because you're marketing. So.
Yeah. I also like, I didn't want to interrupt, but like there's there's still like a lot of options for like non-premium users. So like,
oh yeah, there is a ton. Like yeah. I'm gonna make like our design. I'm gonna do 2 different ones for like our Fake Rush Week flyer. I'm gonna do one that's Canva Pro and one that's not, and make sure I use everything that's like free.
Yeah. Beautiful. Keep it up. You're killing it.
Thank you. So for templates, I went to right over here to the left-hand corner. So this is gonna be your best friend, is gonna be this left-hand corner over here. You literally just click it and it will open up. It makes this part smaller, I will say. Hold on, I was messing around with a different template earlier. Okay, so these are my recently used ones. This is the one I used for this presentation specifically. As you can see, it looks nothing like that anymore because I took out all those images and stuff. So I could just throw in these screenshots so I can like make sure I run through it with you. For example, for the Canva workshop one, I actually did use a template. I did alter it a little bit because I changed like the colors. And I added a little bit more of like, let's say like, see like this little line right here, I made it larger. I actually took this and I changed the color of it, things like that. So like you can make it your own even while using like a template. if you really wanted to. And for upload, so you can upload photos on here. So hold on, let me delete all these screenshots I used. Oh yeah, so that's how you delete. You literally just like click these little corners, and you can actually put them in a folder if you want to. So let's say I want to take these and put them in a folder. There's the option right here with the little folder icon, but right now I just wanted to get these out of the way so you guys can see some photos. So these photos, really easy to use as long as you have them in either, let's say you go to upload, you can click from your device. I have photos on my device and I typically do it that way. But I can go and grab photos from Google Drive. I can grab it from Facebook. I can grab it from Instagram. Google Drive would be a great option because I know for at least Zeta Lambda, like we have photos within the Google Drive. So if you're making like the scrapbook or you need to post something on Instagram and you're maybe doing kind of like a graphic, but you have that photo already in the Google Drive, you can just take it immediately from the APO Gmail, basically. Or not Gmail, Google Drive. So with photos, I have a photo of me and the national president of APO because I wanted to show you a few things, moving on to kind of like editing things kind of deal. So I'm gonna click on here and it's gonna change what I see up on the toolbar. So like, this is like a normal one. So like, it looks like there's like a little color palette, you can animate things. And then if you click on it, it's gonna give you effects. So effects is a pro version, I will say, depending on what you do use. Let's say I wanna use background remover. Background remover is a lifesaver for me personally, and it's like an easy version of Photoshop. Like that is the reason why I will say I bought Canva Pro, is because of the fact of just this background remover, because I could do this in Photoshop. It would take some extra steps, but I literally just click background remover and it does it completely for me. And boom, Photoshopped. Just like that. I did nothing at all. I literally just clicked a button. It was that easy. I'm gonna go back though so that I can show you a few other things.
You should be a sales rep for Canva Pro.
This is my issue. It makes me sound like I'm trying to sell things. Oh, so then I'll show you. So if I go back to effects and I click on remove the background, it's gonna look the same exact way. My computer is running very hard right now. Hold on. Okay, so I clicked on it again, and let's say I wanted to restore the background, or I wanted to erase. Let's say I wanted to erase my face. I can up the brush size. Like this is what it would look like. Huge. Oh wait. Hold on, I'm gonna stop screen sharing for a second because I need to remove some items I'm using right now to make my computer run faster. Okay. Back to screen sharing. Does it look like it's sharing again?
Yes.
You're good.
Okay. Okay, so let's say I wanted to restore some portions of it. It is not letting me do this right now because my computer is having a rough time. It sounds like I could cook an egg on it. So I'm just actually gonna skip this, but you can restore portions of it. So I would just take my cursor and I would put it on like my face and I would just click on it and I can start to like erase it if I wanted to erase, but I can also go to restore and I can restore the background just by like coloring and holding down and just basically highlighting all the spots that have like the little white and gray squares. I'm going to delete this, and then I'm going to actually show you. So you can take it from your library. So that was me if I wanted to go to my device. You have it, once it's in here, like once you upload it, it's in here unless you delete it. So I'm going to re-add this in, and there's actually some filters that you can add in here. So here's like epic right now, and you can, if I wanted to intensify it, which just makes it look really bad, or if I wanted to lower it a little bit, that's pretty low. So it's like no point in having that one. But I do like solar sometimes. I use solar a lot, especially with food. But you can do like an afterglow. Afterglow doesn't look great right now with the photo itself, but you can do, instead of doing any of these filters, you can go straight to this right here on the tab and go to adjust. And you can adjust like the brightness of it. So I would adjust it to probably like a 12. Contrast, this is what it looks like if I go this way. This is what it looks like if I go this way. And this photo itself is not a great photo, I will say, because the sun is on my face really badly. So let's take this one of us. Let's take this one of exact. So I'm gonna just double click. Double click is an easy way to just crop if I wanted to. And there's also the option up on the toolbar too. So if I clicked it and just put crop, I could have gone that way, but I'm so used to just double clicking. But let's say I wanted to adjust this, and let's say I wanted to add a little bit of brightness. I wanted to, so here you go, so you guys can see it. Let's see how filters look on this one. This filter is still not great at all. Some of these filters are a little intense, I will say, 100%, very intense, as you can see. But also if you want to do a black and white photo, it's perfect for that. I love doing black and white on here. But yeah, those are a few. If I wanted to flip it, you can choose two different ways. You can do horizontal. So instead of me being over here on the left, I am now moved on to the right. You can also do a vertical one, which would just make us flipped upside down. And that's the original photo again. You can also mess around since I'm talking about the toolbar a little bit. So let's say I put this over here. Right now it's at the very front, but I can change that by going to position and going, I can do it this way where if I wanted to do background, it's going to be in between that green one, and then it's going to be behind this front one. But if I wanted to, I could just have gone, let's go back one. I can go just straight immediately straight to the back. Don't have to do double click multiple times. And there's also the option right here where it says I can align it to the top, and it does it for me. I can align it to the middle. I can align it to the center completely. I can do it to the left, and which is a really nice, I really like that, because let's say you just wanted to add a photo really quick, but you don't want to have to like take it, like it's all the way over here. You can literally just click position, move it to the right, move it to the bottom. So these are two separate things. So this is going to be top, middle, bottom. This one's going to be left, center, right. And that's how you upload photos and how you edit photos a little bit. So photos specifically is going to be a tab over here on your left-hand side. And they give you a ton of free options. They really do. There's a ton of like right here. Okay, so I'm hovering over this right now, and you can see that it's Canva Pro. But if I wanted to, and I wanted to click clown, you literally just go over it. Some of these, like this one is free. This one's a pro. That one's a pro. That one's a pro. That one's a pro. That's one pro. This one's free actually. And so you can click through these and see, like if I wanted a clown photo, I could find one really easily. That one's really scary, I'm not gonna lie. I gave the example of tacos on this slide here. So if I wanted picture of tacos, you can just literally type in the word tacos. You could type in anything. Like, let's say I wanted to type in a home. Comes up with images that kind of relate back to home. That one's a really nice one, and it's free. Oh my gosh, it's really cute actually. These ones through photos are going to be real life photos. They're not going to be like anime type of photos or animated photos at all. That's going to be more elements. And this is like the same way, like if I wanted to, it's the same thing, kind of like how you uploaded a photo. If my photo pops up, hold on. So, well, okay, I'll just say it since I can't really show you it at the moment. But if I clicked on like the photo and I just had it added in here, it would give me the same exact options as I was when I was messing around with this photo. So I would be allowed to put a filter on and adjust it and crop it and flip it. So moving on to the next portion, next tab. So elements specifically, oh, this is my favorite part. I put so many elements all the time. So like these little things right here, these are elements. Like you just like move them, like great. So there's a variety. So elements specifically, like I said, photos were not animated. They were real life photos. Elements is going to be the complete opposite. They're going to be like cartoon kind of deal, animated photos, as well as shapes. We have frames, we have lines, we have stickers. So these aren't going to be like real photos. So on the example on this slide, I put taco just because we did a real life taco. So as you can see, these are all going to be animated. Right down here. They even have like nice little backgrounds if you wanted to do tacos as well. And then a part of elements, this is where you can get like your squares. You can get like circles if you wanted to. Like if I typed in circle, you can get like one of these where it's like an outline of it, or you can get an actual circle. But let's say I wanted to add a photo of me into the circle. Instead of taking this photo and just putting a circle, or like, well, you really probably wouldn't do a circle if you're putting a photo. Let's say it's a square. So instead of like having this, and let's say I wanted to have my photo of this. Instead of me having to go through this long process of just like cutting it out, putting it in here, taking this, moving it to the side like that, and make it into a frame, there's an easier way to do it, and that's called frames, basically. So I'm going to go back to Elements tab. I'm going to type in the word frames. It's going to give me a variety of options. Like you can put a photo into this little, I don't even know what this little shape is. If anybody knows what that shape is, please tell me, because I look at it and I think the sun. You could do multiple photos if you wanted to. You can put a photo onto a computer. That's actually what I did up here. Yeah. So I took this computer frame and I literally just put a photo into it, which was really nice. Oh, my photos started coming up. Oops. Took a hot second. But let's say I want a circle. All I have to do is click my upload, and I want a photo of, I know I have like a ton of weird things under my uploaded because I just do. What's a good one? Oh, I love this photo. So let's say we wanted to put, is this Izzy? This is Izzy. Let's say we wanted to put Izzy as our Instagram photo and we didn't want to have to deal with cropping it out, making the perfect circle at all. You can just take that photo that I just uploaded on here and have the frame right here, and I just take it and I drag it over it and it will do it for me. And I will double click it and I'll move it just slightly just so I can get her into it a little bit, and boom, it's a circle. And the picture is added in there so easily instead of having to make the circle yourself or put like a square, or you can add, I think they have like triangle frames as well. So it's like really like funky little things that you could add into there that you wouldn't normally be able to do into like a photo. Next up is text. So there is a variety of different texts that you can use. So they have like the typical like headings, subheadings, body, but you can also pick from like different like cool fonts that will automatically like alter how it looks. So pool party is a really neat font that you can use. Rodeo, things like that. I will say texts are a little bit difficult. The biggest thing that I've ever learned is to never use cursive when using marketing materials, because cursive is, people are not learning cursive anymore. But also it's really hard to read at like a first glance. So therefore you have to like look at it multiple times and things like that. So just gonna move that over. Move that over here. So with text specifically, let's say I'm just going to click on here, and up here is going to be where your text is at. So pop and bold is honestly a really nice one because it's something that's really easy to use. I've always been told never to use Times New Roman or Times New Roman because it's a difficult font to use within like marketing materials. It's just like really, it's like a thinner type of font. So it's kind of like really hard to read. But I found that pop and bold, well, pop in is the type of text it is, and then bold is like making it bold, and then you can make it light if I wanted to, or you can do like a medium size. I use Roboto a lot because it's a simple text. The reason why I'm talking about this specifically is because I learned through like the disabilities office that certain fonts are harder to distinguish compared to others. Therefore, it's easier for individuals to read just in general. And you can actually upload fonts if you wanted to. This one's a pro version. So like, let's say I work for the University of Toledo, not specifically the University of Toledo, but through Rocket Dining. And they have a specific like font. And like this font you can't find, but we can download it specifically. And then I can upload it into Canva if I wanted to. And then the font is automatically put in there. I don't have to deal with it. You can also add brand colors into here, which is really nice because I use the university ones a lot, but I use my boss's account. So he already has the brand colors and all that on there. So does anybody have any questions so far?
No questions, but I am amazed.
I'm amazed at how hot it is. But yeah, it's a ton. Like you never thought that Canva would have these like this many options, and it's free. Like that's the crazy part. This thing is free and it has this many options. Like who would have thought? Does anybody have any questions at all? Just before I move forward? Yes, Lene, I just saw your message. It is annoying to crop the picture. So if you just wanted to use a frame and throw it in there, it's so much easier. It saves you time. And sometimes you can't, like, let's say like right here, like I will say I didn't use a frame for these obviously, and I wanted to show that. Like this is not centered whatsoever. Hold on, I'll delete that. So like these aren't like centered at all. So like that's the hard thing. And like sometimes like I know like for me, I'm kind of picky. So like this over here, there's not enough space compared to these. Like that has the most space. That has the least, or that has like the middle amount of space, all that. So moving on to styles. So I have these few different options right here. These are actually all elements that I took just from like the elements tab here that I just immediately saw on my front page. Just because I wanted to show this example. So these are all elements like I took, like I said. So we have I want to say like this is like a flower. This is like a little text box, and that's just a straight up square. You can actually go to styles, and if I wanted to, I could change this entire thing just by picking styles. I will say be careful on it because you may like a color, but the issue is the fact that it not only changes the color, but it will also change your text. So that's the big thing. So like for me, like here's pop and bold right here, which is the text I'm already using, but it changes the color. And if I wanted to, I can press shuffle and it will change the colors again for me. I do like these colors right here up on this Calvet multi-black one, but I will say this text is kind of like, I enjoy it. Like it's a nice marketing one. Like I think it's like a pretty text, but also if I was creating like a marketing material, like I wouldn't probably use this just because of the style of it. But like, I love these colors. So if I want to just continue shifting it around, I could just shift these colors around. That first one, honestly, may be my favorite color style. So like, I like this, but let's say I wanted to just change this. I can always just do that. I can just change it back to pop and bold and keep that color scheme. But yeah, that is how you use styles. Does anybody have any questions on how styles works? Here's colors. Here's fonts right here. So I can only, like, if I wanted to, instead of me going to that first one that already picks both of them for you, I can just go to, here, let me do it on this one right here. I can go to colors and I can just change the color scheme. It will not change my actual, like, oops, I was on the wrong one. It will not change my actual text. So I won't have to deal with it changing it to that very thin Calvet font. But if I only wanted the font, I could do that as well if I wanted to. I could just go to fonts, pick a good font. I could change it to this Horizon one. This one's a good one right there. This one, I think, may be a really nice font that I enjoy. Okay. Next tab is audio. So you can actually add audio into some of the materials. I wouldn't recommend doing it into like a flyer, but you could definitely do it into like an Instagram story. Like that would be perfect. Adding like an Instagram story and then putting in like audio so it goes with it. Like, let's say like, I know that Gabby, you did, what was it? Like a bingo board for like APO, like month of giving. You could have added like music into it if you wanted to. So like while like people are like clicking on it and like looking at it, the music will be playing in the background of it. So I could add this right here. I actually use this song. So I'm just going to drop to add my music. You can use one track per design. I will say only one track per design. About to leave, already packing, come with me. And this right here goes up to a minute and 39 seconds of playing. And I can actually move this if I wanted to. And let's say I didn't want to play it from the beginning, but maybe from the middle, there's always that option as well. So I'm gonna pause it right here and I'm gonna kind of show you how to do that within present mode. So it automatically plays in present mode. And if I wanted to, right here has like the little music volume. I can lower it, or I can just click this and just mute it completely. So then I just don't hear it anymore. So you can, a lot of the time, if you're kind of like very iffy on like looking at elements and stuff like that, because you think that maybe they may not be free or things like that, for photos specifically, you can actually look up here in like the little top part and it gives you suggestions. But you can also just like click like free or not free. You can go to, I'll show you in this one. It gives me like the free option. This free, it kind of sounds weird. So you want to click free, but at the same time, it's going to give you pro options. So the reason why it does that is because it's not actually, I actually said that wrong. It will not show you just the free ones. It's actually going to show you like free as in you're feeling free. I'm pretty sure audio is a pro version only though. Just the way that I'm seeing all this music, I have not seen anything that is free. Has anyone used music within it and have used free audio before? Oh, this one's free. Never mind, you can do music. That's free. Ooh. Do you want to do video game Blockbuster? Sounds like something that would be in like a commercial. Yeah, that's how you use audio. You can, like I said, you can move it around to see how you want to do that. I'm gonna just trash this so I don't keep hearing the audio. Videos, there is a video option. I've never personally used the video option that much. But over here, you can look up various types. So let's say, I don't know, skydiving. That's the first thing that came to my mind. They have skydiving videos that you can add in here. Some of them are short, some of them are long. You could do a writing one. Like if you wanted a video of somebody that was just like writing on a piece of paper. This one right here is free. Like the video and the audio is going to be a little more difficult. They're going to be more pro versions of them just because it's a little higher tech option. Can you make a video a moving background? Are you saying to just put it completely within the background, or something that's like you could have it in the background and then you could add text to the front of it? Is that what you mean, Megan?
Yeah, I think like your second one, like at the beginning of a presentation or something, just like have leaves falling or something.
Oh yeah. That would be actually, that would not be videos, that would be actually animation. So let's just actually do it just to show it. Might as well. So I would say that would be elements unless we're doing real leaves, but let's just do fake leaves. So here's one right here. You can't really see it though. I'll change the color of it to black. You can definitely see. I'm not going to put it through the entire thing, but alter that. Position. I don't know if you can do it for this one specifically. It may be only an option for like the video for animation. I know for you should, it may only be for specific elements because I've seen animation for some, but not all. So you'd have to pick one that actually works with it. Like animate, and you could do, oh yeah, same thing goes kind of like how you do like normal presentations. They do have animations right here. So if you wanted to, you could just have like an animation of like leaves. Like you could set the leaves down on like this picture and just have like leaves continue to rise up or fade away. And you can also set the time frame for animations if you wanted to. So if you wanted it to be longer, if you wanted it to take so long, that's like 15 seconds. So let's say I wanted it to rise, it'll last for 15 seconds. Did that kind of answer your question, Megan?
Yeah, thank you.
Yep, no problem. Let's see, moving on to, I think it's backgrounds. Yep, backgrounds. Also for this video, if you wanted to, you can crop it. Same exact way, but cropping it is not going to be cropping the video size. So if you like the amount of time it is, that's not what cropping is. That would be this right here, this little scissor part that says 8.1 seconds. That's where you would crop it in time wise. So let's say I only wanted the middle portion of her writing and looking out at the nice mountains. I just cropped it down to 5.1 seconds. So I just took 3 seconds off. Okay. Any questions? Anything that we went over so far? All right. So background is, this is what background is. It's going to be over here in this corner. You can pick a variety of ones that they already give you. If you wanted to and you only wanted patterns, you can look at patterns and you can see all. And the nice part about this is, I will say this does annoy me. I've worked with people on Canva and they'll literally go to elements and they'll type in like square and they'll take this square and they'll put it right here and they'll fill the entire like template, whatever you're using, story, post, anything like that, and they'll put it like this and they think that this is their background. This is not your background. This is just a square you made. You can easily just make it your background by just double clicking the back. Literally just double click the back, or you can just click background if you wanted to and just pick a color. So I can just do it like that and make it so much easier than going and grabbing a square and then doing that. I think my boss does that all the time and I'm just like, oh, that's time. You could have cut your time a little bit. But there's other patterns that you can use for the background. One I used today actually for an Instagram post, I use like wood. I love pictures of wood. Boom. Just change the background completely. Yeah, that is how background works. Folder, there is an option for you to have a folder and you can set your different things. So like for me personally, I could set like a folder where it's like APO. I could put like APO as one. I could do another one as my marketing internship. Another one I could do as personal if I wanted to. So I could just keep, you know, organizing and things like that. You can look at the things you've purchased in the past, things that you've liked, people that have shared with you. You can add logos into your folder, as well as just going back and looking at all your designs. And then underneath more, this tab I feel like is just not used ever whatsoever. I feel like people really don't like know about it. They think like more is not really an option, but you can have graphics, like actual like graphs, like charts into here. And this is really neat because like you can actually like put the items. So like let's say I wanted to do how many service hours everybody has. So let's put Gabby as she has maybe like, whoops, 1 hour of service and like 5 fellowship and like, or not 5 fellowship. It would be, this would be all service, my bad, because it's like a bar chart. So let's say she has like 1 fraternity hour, 5 campus, she has 7 nation, and so forth. Like you can recognize that right here so you can see how far they are compared to other people. Yes, Gabby has to get her service up apparently with my example. I don't know why I said 1, but we can delete this chart. There's also the option and underneath, oops, that just gave me a new option. Okay, so underneath more as well. My favorite thing to do, okay, so people typically, they like to make QR codes by going to like a sketchy website and putting in like their link. You can make a QR code through Canva. I think this is the coolest thing ever. So like if I wanted to make a QR code of, I don't even know, let's say, I'm just gonna type in the University of Toledo. That's all I can think of at the moment. I want a QR code for the University of Toledo website. And like you could do this like specifically for like a specific tab. All I have to do is just, I took it, I Command C'd it, and then you just copy and paste, and boom, it will generate me a QR code. So if you're doing like if you need like a Google form, and like to put it onto like a thing, like let's say you're doing like rush week, for example, and you need them to like click the QR code or like not click the QR code, but scan the QR code, you can just generate it within Canva and put your Google form in there. All right, so that is kind of the end of like these kind of tabs and like the folders and stuff like that, and kind of like a little bit of the toolbar itself. So I'm just gonna make sure I hit some points here. So I did talk about what is Canva. background removing, I showed you. Poster and presentation flyers, insiders, do's and don'ts of creating digital medias, templates versus using your own. Okay, so yeah, these three I haven't really talked about, but I can show you some examples. I was waiting on to do those ones. But before I do that, I'm going to show you how to download first. So this, well, I haven't really showed you this up here, this part. So this is share. I can copy a link or I can just send it to somebody. I think I usually send it to Cam. I don't know if I've sent anything to, no, I haven't. But I can actually type in like emails within here, or I can just copy the link and just email that person the link, or I can text them the link, as well as this right here, just this download button. That's going to be the download portion of it. So I have 20 slides right now, and let's say I only wanted to download the first slide. Or if let's say you have like multiple flyers on like one, like you have like multiple pages of like one flyer basically, and you want to only do like a select few of them, you can like select them. You could do multiple, or you can do the entire thing, which would be this all pages. You can select the file type, depending on what you're printing off and stuff like that. Like for this, if I had music, I would do a MPV video, or I would do a standard, I would actually do a standard one just because I'd be working through the presentation. But let's say, I'll actually show you an example of this PMV video. I actually did that one time for PSC, but let's actually get into some examples.
Also, can I add something?
Yeah.
There's a Canva app. So like if you're not doing it on your computer, or like you're trying to like post something on your Instagram that you made through Canva, you can just download the app, and like when it downloads it, when you like follow that same process, it downloads it straight into your camera roll, which is super easy for like uploading onto like Instagram and like stuff like that. So
oh yeah, that's a lifesaver. I do that all the time, because why send it to yourself when you can just have the app and just straight up download it immediately to it. Let's see, what was I gonna show you guys? Oh, I was gonna show you guys, oh, don't mind my uncle. So for this, I actually made it into like a little like snippet video. So I could have, let's say okay, so let's say this first one right here is the same as this second one. It's just like the colors are changed. So I could download this, and it says 20 seconds right now at the moment. So I want just these two right here, and I will have it as an MP4 video. And the reason why is it's a video is because it has a pan effect. So this pan effect is, it goes like this and it slides in. So I'm gonna download it. I can't remember if I downloaded it. So I'm just gonna download it again. I did. Whoops. Let it download. And then I'll show you another example. You know what? I'll show you our rush week flyer actually. That's the perfect example to do this. Do's and don'ts. Video is still downloading. I'll wait for that one. Okay, so for rush week this year, we ended up having our first rush week, and this is what our flyer looked like. What is your immediate thought when you look at this flyer? Don't be afraid to be harsh, because I made this flyer. I don't like it personally, so. What do you think when you see this? Anyone at all?
I think there's like like the only thing I would say is like there's a lot of like different bright colors in the background, and then like having the white text on top, like especially the blue, kind of like hurts my eyes a little bit.
Yeah,
but
it definitely is. It's a lot. It's very bright, very hard to the eye. Avery said there's a lot going on. I 100% agree. There definitely is a lot going on. So I'm actually going to show you, like, I'm going to just like copy this and duplicate the page. Something that could have been done to just make it easier is I could have just taken this square this is just like one small fix. Like there's multiple fixes that could have been done with this poster, but this is just gonna be me doing this really quickly, but I can do white. Oops, I forgot there's white. I'm going to take this, move this. Okay, so one thing I'm going to show you right here, I did not show you this, which I don't know why I didn't. So you can actually take it and just, you're going to drag it. So I just clicked and I'm about to drag, and I'm going to drag it to right here. So that actually picked up on a few extra things that I didn't want, but I'm going to group it together right now. I accidentally grouped together that guy's foot. Hold on. Let me try to not grab his foot. Okay, so I don't think I grabbed his foot. So no, the tip that keeps getting me. Oops. So I'm gonna grab it like this. Oh, Christina. So I just dragged it across, and now I can group it. So now it's grouped together and I can move it all together like this, and it's so much easier. And so I'm gonna change it to black, change this to black, change this to black, and also this.
Presentation on Canva.
So I'm gonna make it a little bit smaller.
The thing that you make with the posters, you can make like your presentations and wait.
Okay. So I can take this background that I just put here. This is actually a way to position it like I talked about before. So I can position it in the front, I can position it in the back. So I'm gonna move it to white, and then I can do something that's kind of like a transparency if I wanted to. So it's a little bit less, but still. So like this is something that could have been like, this entire thing needs to be altered in general, but like this at least makes it readable. While everything else is just, it's still very overwhelming though. Like that's the whole point. So I actually altered it for the second rush week, and I made this just because there is still a ton of information. It still does look overwhelming, but you have just the necessities. Like you still get the entire vibe from it, because like this mountains and stuff, it's just a lot going on, especially with I don't know the guy's name from Up, but the old guy in the Boy Scout, the old guy in the Boy Scout, you still get the same vibe just from this little Up cartoon little photo. It just makes it a lot simpler. It makes it simplified basically. You don't want materials to just be so overwhelming. You want to simplify it as much as possible. Don't add extras if it's not needed. That's the biggest thing. So like everything that's here is needed because you need all the information for rush week. But also they also should have the follow us on social media information, because that's where they can get the Zoom links. They need that QR code, and you want the QR code to be semi big, not completely big. You don't want it to be like, let's add this QR code to be like this large and let's alter everything to go around it, because that is way too much. Like the QR code should not be the center focus of the entire thing. You want to get your point across. So the point across was rise up with Alpha Phi Omega, up as in the up theme, and you get that from this little cartoon little photo of like the up house. Oh, thank you, Christoph. Definitely a lot better than what this first one was, I will say. Does anybody have any questions on this? Anything to add? I will say the less elements, the better. The less elements, the better. The less photos, the better. If you want to see some bad stuff, I am actually willing to completely show you my awful first year of college. Like I'm about to show you some stuff that you're gonna be like, wow, Meikayla made that. I'll be like, yeah, I did. Do I claim it? I guess. Canva's running a little slow again, so. It's also my Wi-Fi. Okay, so my designs. So these designs are so bad. You're gonna be like, wow. Oh yeah. This was a thing, guys. This is what I have made before. This is not acceptable whatsoever. It's so overwhelming. It's so bright. I don't even want to look at it because it's just so much going on. Same thing for this one. Like you can't even read this. Like I don't know how this was ever thought to be acceptable. Game night. Yeah, like game night could have done. I could definitely make a new game night if I wanted to. But yeah, that's kind of how you can alter things. Same thing with this one. This is still very overwhelming. There's so much going on. There's so many characters. It's like you aren't even able to read where Rush Week is even at. Like you don't even want to look at the Etcher sketch. Like it's so much. But yeah, with some examples. What do you then also based off of that example, I actually altered it and I made something just simplified because we had to print it in black and white. These colors are obviously like I messed around with them. They're all supposed to be black, but like this is like a more simplified version, gets the point across. But yeah, that's how I altered that first one around to the second one. I like to alter things a lot. Just completely, just start off from scratch. So what do you guys think so far? Any questions? Anything that you want to learn specifically? Do you want to just go straight into creating some materials and working together kind of, or doing your own thing and asking questions throughout? Anybody have any questions? Going once. Going twice. Okay. Would you guys like to do a mock-up like Rush Week flyer? Well, not flyer. This would be just a post. Or you could do a flyer if you want. Is that something that you guys want to do?
I think that would be a great idea.
All right, sounds good. So first off, we need a theme. The first thing that came to my mind was game night, games. Does anybody have any good Rush Week themes on the top of their head? Or maybe one that they're thinking about in the future that they want to see happen in their chapter?
Let's do a Friends theme.
Friends theme. Okay, yes. Honestly, I actually think I may have a Friends theme already. You know what? I don't actually. I think Izzy made that one. Hold on. Let me stop screen sharing for a second. I can show you. I don't know actually who made this. Okay. Found it. Okay, so this is actually something that I remember. I remember seeing this before. Like this was actually somebody had created this not template, I would say, but this is kind of like what it looked like. And so they kind of went off of that to make a Friends theme. I definitely think like this, it's really black personally. It's kind of sad. You kind of want to add a little bit color. Thanks, Gabby. Have a great night. So for this, it's very black. You could have added color into it. Make sure that you don't add too much color. That's the big thing. So how about, for example, we can use the same exact like information from here, but just altering it around. So everyone can make their own Rush Week flyer if you want to go ahead and try this. So let me put in the group chat this information down so that we can all kind of like do this on our own. I'll be sharing my screen while I'm making it so you guys can see kind of like what I'm doing, but feel free to make like your own. Don't go like, you don't have to go off of this. You can use a template if you want. You can use this as inspiration. So you want the I will be there for you because you are there for me. Oh, I spelled the word for a little wrong. This is like a great kind of like part to add within there just because of the fact that like that's kind of like the whole theme of Alpha Phi Omega is like you have a friend in me kind of deal. Same thing kind of with like Toy Story theme. You will always be there for like another brother. Let's say it's going to be August 31st. I don't know if that was a Monday, but I'm going to put Monday. And it's going to be an information night from 6 to 7. Always include, even if you're putting times and you think, oh, 6 to 7, you're going to think 6 to 7 p.m. immediately. But other people may not know that. So make sure you put PM. And you want to make sure that if you're doing P.M. keep that consistent throughout the entire thing. Don't change it up. If you keep it capitalized or if you lowercase it, make sure you just keep it consistent. Consistency is the hardest thing to make sure that you do. So like if you see like one little thing off, like immediately change it just because like you may notice it. You may think now that other people may not notice it, but it's going to be maybe like the focal point that they're going to put their eyes to. Let's do September, which is Tuesday, icebreaker. And then September 2nd is a Wednesday, let's say, information night / let's do another service, 6 to 7. And for like service, not even just service, but when you're doing like creating like this information for like information night and services, try to make sure like your theme maybe fits within that. I know for this semester, I had pulled up the flyer for this past rush week, and we made sure for like the up theme, we put like up within our like information. So for example, let me reshare my screen. For example, we did an information night, which we just kept as information night. But for these other ones, we put rise up against world hunger. So adding like little puns that fit in with your theme just makes it like a little bit extra over the top. Same thing, like making cards up for service or game up for Jeopardy. Kind of gets the point across that it's the theme up and we can rise up together. I'm going to finish adding in the information into the chat just so you guys can start creating your own flyer, and then we can kind of I can show you guys again how to share the link, so then I can pull everybody's up. It doesn't have to be perfect. Everything is workable. We can just show kind of like what you did at that time, just because you may not be able to finish it all within this time frame, but still. And you can generate like your own like ideas. So I'm just putting like generic things like leadership, information night, service. You can like make a service if you wanted to and put that within there to go along with the theme maybe. All right, so I just put the information in the chat right now. And so for the chat specifically, I put, let's say August 31st is that Monday, and it's gonna be an information night. All the nights are gonna be 6 to 7. Saturday, or not Saturday, September the 1st is gonna be Tuesday, and it's an icebreaker service. September 2nd will be a Wednesday information night / service. And then the 3rd will be Thursday. Let's say it's a leadership. And then let's end it with Friday, a fellowship. Just for like this as an example, you need to obviously add like a contact. So you can put my name down if you want with my phone number. I would highly recommend, again, if you guys need to see how to make a QR code again, I'll show you. You literally just go down to these 3 dots down in the left-hand corner. You'll click QR code and it will pull this up. And then you can just take, let's say it's a Google form you need them to fill out for rush week, so you can make sure that you have their contact information, like their number, their email, what year they are, and can't think of something else that you may need to know. But yeah, so like let's say you wanted to throw like a Google form into here, you can put that URL into a QR code so that that's what they fill out. Let's create a flyer. So this flyer, so the flyer actually is a 5.5 by an 8.5. That is actually not a piece of paper, like a standardized piece of paper. A standardized piece of paper is actually an 8.5 by 11, just so you guys know. So you can edit your document name right up here. So before it was like untitled, and I just like double clicked, and I'm gonna put Friends 2021 Rush Week. So you can add maybe something in that deals with friends. I know the example that I showed you prior to that specifically was just like a little couch, like the Friends couch. Let's see if we can find something like that on here. So this pulled up some Friends, actual Friends TV show maybe. Or you can even go online and look for the online one, like some images that you can upload through Canva. Let's actually do the, you guys can be making whatever you want. I'm just making one as well. Something that would be really funny to honestly do. I know that I know somebody from UT actually did this. I forget what Greek org did, but they actually took a photo of them with a couch in front of the student union and took a photo of them sitting on there. And you could actually have like taken that, like let's say like we wanted to do Friends theme. Like we could take a couch, have our brothers on a couch and take that photo. And then the same way that I showed you how to background remove, you could do the same exact thing. So like, again, how you do background removing is here's me and President Coop. I go to effects and I click background remover. And so I could remove everything around, like, let's say we did it in front of the student union as well. And we would just have everybody that's sitting on the couch in the photo within our flyer. So yeah. I'm just going to use this as an example. I'm going to take this and I'm going to save it to my computer. And then I'm going to go to upload media, go to device. You can choose from your Google Drive as well. And then this is definitely something that I would want to have within here. So I just uploaded it so I can just mess around with that. Does anybody have any questions so far about Canva? I know Christina, you came in a little bit late. We did start at 6, so like I went through like the very basics of Canva. Do you have any questions or things that you've seen on Canva that you're unsure of?
Oh my gosh, I didn't realize I joined an hour late.
Yeah, I'm so sorry. Yeah. So it started at 6. So like I went through like the very basics of like the presentation. So like how to do like templates, how to upload, how to navigate photos and stuff like that. But this, I'm doing a recording right now. So it's actually going to be uploaded to the region website if you do want to take a look at that in the future, or just send that out to your chapter.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll definitely look at that. But I do use Canva a lot, so
Yeah.
pretty familiar with it. So
I do not see Greek letters within here, but I bet if I put alpha in here, yeah, alpha comes up as an example. So you can, if you need to put alpha phi omega, you can always do this, or you can actually type in the word alpha phi omega. So what do you typically use Canva for, Christina?
okay, so you guys have Rocketthon coming up, right?
Mhm.
And we have Raiderthon, and I do all of the stuff for that for social media.
Oh, neat.
I'm the graphic designer, so
Fancy.
that, and I make most of our posters for APO. To be honest, we don't have like an actual position for that
Oh,
stuff,
okay, yeah,
so I usually do it.
that's neat. So right here, I just added like a heading, and then I can add like a subheading underneath it. I always put underneath like alpha phi omega, I put national co-ed service fraternity, just because some people, they think like, oh, if it's a Greek, like it's a Greek fraternity, oh, like I'm not going to join it, but they don't recognize that it's a co-ed first off, and that it's a service fraternity. I typically put this somewhere in here. I always also add within like flyers for alpha phi omega what we like what our principles are. So I'm just going to copy and paste this to make it easy. So I always put like leadership, friendship, and service. So these are just some things that you want to make sure that you have in here. Let's say I'm just going to throw a QR code in here randomly. Say I want it for here. Oops. University of Toledo. So how I personally, like, I know other people work differently. For me, I try to at least kind of like throw things on that I know that needs to be added in here. Other people, they like to like make the template first and then add everything. I like to kind of just like jumble it all up and I just work it from there and I move it. It probably is easier to make the template first, but like my mind just goes immediately to what I need to add versus like, let's make a template. So this did not background remove. Great. So I'm going to actually click on restore. And since this is letting me restore actually this time, this is how you restore things. If I really wanted to like be nitpicky, I can go through here and I can make the brush smaller and I can actually increase my size so I can look at it, go like this, get all that around it. This isn't a good photo to begin with anyways, but it's just a nice little filler thing for this. But we'll just keep it like this. Trust me, I can definitely do a better Photoshop than this, I will say. So when you think friends, you think of the typical, right here, hold on, friends. You think the friends like logo. So you think of this right here. So this is something where you can actually find online how to like, you can find like a generator for like friends font and you can actually put in alpha phi omega if you wanted to, so you can have that in there on your flyer. As well as maybe incorporating that red right here, that yellow, and that blue. Just as a point of information, I'm actually just gonna take this photo and I'm gonna actually save this photo. So I'm gonna save photo as friends. I'm gonna go to upload. I'm gonna go to devices, friends image, and you can actually take exact colors from like photos if you wanted to, which is like a really neat thing that I personally do a lot because I maybe like a color out of it. So like for here, for example, this red, that yellow, that blue. So if I wanted to add like another element in here somewhere, like a square, it will actually give me the suggestion from this image originally. So I'm going to click this up here, the color, and I can click from this friend's image. It'll give me like these colors, which are their clothing at the moment. But I'm going to go like this and see if it will pop up for me. It does not, sadly, but I'll just find like a yellow color. So like that would be like a similar yellow to like right there. Not the exact same, but close enough. Again, you can take this and you can actually group them together if you wanted to, so I don't have to keep moving both of them around all the time. And so what I just did right here is I just typed in Friends TV show font generator and I clicked on the first one and I was able to put in the words alpha phi omega and it actually created alpha phi omega for me. But because of the fact that there is just like there's like a little period in between here, I'm going to go like this instead. So I can just create like one word and then I can download that and add that in. I can open this up as a PDF if I wanted to. My computer's still being a little slow, so thank you for bearing with me for those that are still here. Do you have any questions, Avery, Lene, Kirsten, Christina, Tanvi? So what's one thing that you learned today from my Canva workshop that you just did not know beforehand that's going to be a lifesaver? Yeah, the QR code is definitely a lifesaver for sure. I've always had to like find like a generator, like a font generator, and it's been so hard because like some of them are like not the best generators or they like look really weird, which is kind of like stinks because you don't want it to look weird on like the flyer itself. Newsletters are really easy to do on here, especially if you pick like a template. Honestly, you could do like, let me think. I think I might have the template for the newsletter. Maybe I don't. No, I don't think I do anymore. But here's like a flyer that I've made before, or not a flyer. This is actually a brochure I made for Alpha Phi Omega that basically explains like what it is. So it has like the front of like the brochure, which is right over here. There's, this is actually a double duty. Okay, and then like when you open it up, it says like about us, what we are, our history, and then I took like photos of our chapter and I made sure to kind of put them where they belong. So like right here is the exact team. So I put that underneath leadership, underneath friendship. I put another one, which is a photo of all of us doing the toast song, service of us making cards, and then I put an arrow. Try to make this as simple as possible. I know there's a ton of words right here that could definitely have been like shortened down on this left hand side, but making sure like the general information that like they need to know is there. Like what is leadership, like what do we offer them? Friendship, what are some examples of friendships that we basically have within Alpha Phi Omega, as well as service. And then I also put like our 4 like sections of service, as well as some opportunities that we have within service. And then on the back, it has like the rush week. We did have 2 rush weeks this past year. So they have like the first rush week and then like the contact information in our social media, just so they need, like if they ever need that and need to contact us. So what are some rush weeks that you guys have seen in the past, or maybe ones that you think would be good for like the future, maybe to like implement? I know, what is it, Christina, you have like a few rush weeks throughout your semester. What are a few that you've done are using like the same like one each week?
Oh my gosh. We have Rush once a month. It's a lot, but yeah, it's like a week to 2 weeks of
Oh.
Rush each month. It's yeah. Um, but what have we done?
Do you guys typically have themes with your rush weeks?
Yeah, yeah. We used to not do themes last year, but it's so much easier to come up with stuff with a theme.
Mhm.
Like right now, our theme this week is Raider Up. We figured it's our last rush for the semester, and we're trying to collab with a few other organizations. And so, yeah,
Oh,
so it's very right state themed.
yeah.
Last month we had a tropical theme.
Ooh.
I liked that one.
Yeah, that's fun.
In February we did a retro 80s and 90s theme.
Hmm.
Yeah. So that one was actually 2 weeks. So we did 1 week 80s and the other week 90s. Yeah. Sometimes I steal themes from the region page.
Mhm.
Yeah. One of them last semester was like a Dunkin' Donuts theme. Yeah. Last year we had a Valentine's theme. So
I know one semester, it's been probably like over like it's definitely been over a year, but there was a what's it called? There was a it was a zombie apocalypse. That's what it was. It was a zombie apocalypse thing.
that sounds cool.
Yeah, it was really neat because it was like the hard thing about like rush themes is like you want to make sure that it's like not just centered towards women. You want to make sure because like APO is like a lot of women, like a lot of our chapters are, but making sure that like we are including diversity and inclusion so it's towards like men as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I've always liked the like the TV show themes and movies and stuff.
Mhm. Let's see. I see Kirsten made an Among Us one. What's everybody else working on?
I'm just doing the Friends one. Yeah. I'm using that font generator that you found.
Yeah, that font generator is great.
It is. I do wish I changed the font color though, but it's alright.
Yeah, I noticed that. But an easy way to get around that for Canva is that you can just click on like this lettering that I put underneath here. And I just went to text color and I took the color from that that bluish kind of like purplish color that is it's in right now for Alpha Phi Omega portion for friends. And I just used that. So it was the same exact one for consistency.
Okay. That makes sense.
So I think one thing like for I would say for friends theme, instead of putting like I'll be there for you because you're there for me, I think it would be really nice. Like instead it would be like we'll be there for you because it's like us, like as in multiple people. So just changing like
Yeah.
little like that really just make it a little bit better. What are you creating, Avery and I want to say Lene and Tambi? Oh, nice. I'm excited to just see kind of like what everybody has created. And then once you do like finish up or kind of like you're towards the end of it, once we're coming up on time here, I'd say probably like at 7:55, everyone should share their link. You can share your link again by going to share, and then you go copy link, and then you can just throw that in the group chat and I can pull them up.
Okay.
And the nice thing about when you group together, like like right here, like how I have this entire like rush week and all this information grouped together, I can just click on just like the whole group itself, and you can actually change the entire thing to white if I wanted to. So I changed those portions, and then I would have to go in and change this. Are you guys excited about conference this upcoming weekend? Are you going to be able to attend? Like, is anybody going? I know that a few people are going to Rockathon, but are you going to the other portions of the conference? And also Raiderthon too?
Yeah, so I actually present at the conference on Saturday morning.
Oh, me too. What time are you doing yours?
It's like one of the first things.
Nice. What are you presenting on?
I'm presenting on APU Online.
Oh,
With-
that's always needed.
Yeah, we present at 9:30, so it's the first thing after the opening ceremony.
Huh.
Yeah, but then in the afternoon, yeah, I will be at Raiderthon, getting all those volunteer hours in.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Love to see it.
A long day. It's supposed to have thunderstorms here though, so it might be rescheduled.
Oh.
So yeah, apparently we're making that decision tomorrow. So fingers crossed. We're doing an outdoor movie, and so they're like, the guy was like, if it rains, like we have to bail, like we can't have the equipment out there. And I was talking to my advisor today, and I was like, what if we decide to go through with it and it starts to pour? Like,
That is very true.
is there a plan? She's like, there is no plan. Like, oh my gosh.
We just hope it doesn't.
Exactly. I was like, great. Yeah. We planned all last semester for an online event, and then this semester our advisor was like, oh yeah, we can do something in person.
Huh.
So yeah, it's been a hustle this semester.
We love to see it.
I honestly want to go to conferences, but it's like I'm going to be so exhausted after Saturday.
Oh yeah, you definitely do.
Because this weekend, it's like tomorrow we have our final exec meeting before Rockathon. Friday, we're setting up for the event. And then Saturday, I have to be there all day.
Yeah. The day of our thon events, oh my goodness. Sometimes I'm like, are you trying to kill us? Like, because it's working.
Yeah. I can definitely agree because like I've been going to Rockathon since I was very little, so it's like I know the feeling.
Yeah. How long is your dance marathon normally?
It is normally around 13 hours.
Yeah. That's a good chunk of time.
Yeah, I remember a time when it used to be 26 hours long.
Oh my
Wow.
goodness.
It was so fun though because I was little back then and I got to sleep over in the rec center during that.
Yeah, ours is 16 hours. It's a long one. My feet, I definitely did not wear the right shoes last year. I thought my feet were gonna fall off.
I've never actually been to a rockathon or like any like dance marathon. I've only ever been able to like fundraise.
It's a lot of fun. normally. I mean, circumstances have changed this year. I'm sure it'll still be fun. It's just very different.
Mhm.
I put this way down there. Sounds like my roommate's watching TikTok. Not that it's a bad thing, I'm just saying. Or as she says, it's Instagram because she deleted TikTok. That's too addicting. So now she just watches
It is very.
Instagram.
I feel like all I can talk about now is TikTok. Like, oh, I saw this TikTok the other day and it did this, and now I'm gonna start doing this. Like, I don't even know, like, the ideas it generates.
I think our morale dance for Raiderthon has some TikTok dances in it. I mean, it's fitting for this year.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, I see somebody else joined. Dennis Low Pointy. Hi there.
Hello.
We're just finishing up on our how-to Canva workshop right now. Okay, so if everybody, since we are coming up on time, if you want to show what you have made, you can go ahead and click the share button right over here in this right-hand corner and click copy link, and you can drop that in the chat. Okay, I'm gonna start pulling these up. This is mine. It does not look good, I will say, and I'm gonna point out why. These colors are very bright, therefore they need to be made darker, I would say. Just because they are so bright. So therefore, like, this white basically goes off of this blue right here, and so it kind of like dilutes it, not dilutes it, but kind of makes it a little hard to read. Same thing going for this red. This red is so bright, so I would want to change this color to something different. But I could definitely do like black over here on the side and then make this white. I can also add yellow and red into the excess portions if I wanted to, by, like, let's say making this line like red right here, making this box like right here, blue, like a lighter blue maybe, or even like a yellow, while keeping this right here like a dark blue. This up here, it's a lot going on, so like this would need to be rearranged. extremely, because it just looks like a whole bunch of lettering that you don't really want to read all through it. As well as changing that font color because it is like a blue that just doesn't match with the rest of the entire like flyer, you could say. This I just have down here just because like it would be nice to have a photo somewhere in here. I just didn't put it anywhere at the moment. I just threw it in the middle. But yeah, so like kind of made it so like it's workable, but at the same time there's things that would definitely need to be altered just because you don't want it to be too bright, but you also don't want it to be completely boring and be very dark and black. But let's click up on these chats so I can share them. Let's see what you guys have made. Ooh, Rush, Alpha Phi Omega, because we'll be there for you. Perfect. I love how you put because we'll be there for you. And I like how you didn't put like the end portion of it. Like it just like you put the part that needed to be said. And then some things that like could be altered is like making so like the background is very overwhelming just because of like the colors and like how it's like you just see like lines through them. So you could fix this by just taking like a square or like a rectangle and then just altering that. But I'm gonna hop off since it is 8 o'clock. I hope everybody enjoyed this presentation. And everybody have a good rest of your night.